Briana Aldridge joined by Clarence Hill with All City Dallas to break down this Week 8 matchup coming up, a big one. Okay, so the Cowboys are 3-3 and they're going against the 49ers for 3-4, but no one knows better than this team. The record does not reflect what is about to happen. One thing I do want to ask you though, Clarence, to start off. McCarthy says they're 3-0 on the road.
Right.
And they're about to be 4-0 on the road. Do you believe that is possible with this team?
I don't believe. I'm glad he believes. I'm glad he believes. It's funny because the Cowboys had a 16-game home winning streak, and now they've lost 4 straight games at home. They were bad on the road last year, and now they're undefeated on the road this year. Now they're hanging the hat on. We're a road team. Well, let's be honest about this. If the teams they played at home, they played on the road, they would be L's. And the teams they played on the road, they played at home, they'd be wins. It's all about the matchups and the teams you played that really is defined why the Cowboys are 3-3 and why they won 3 road games and lost 3 home games. But the bottom line is you look at what the Cowboys have done. They're 3-3 record, but it feels like 2-4, maybe 1-5, because what do they do well? Outside kick. And so that tells you you're really taking advantage of some bad teams on the road to really pump up your record. And so you have a 49ers team that's 3-4, struggling as well. But they have injuries, and the Cowboys have injuries. There are questions about this 49ers team. If there's any opportunity for this Cowboys team to get off that hump, get that monkey off, that 49ers monkey off their back, and the 49ers have owned the Cowboys of late. This is the week. If you're going to beat them, now is the time to beat them. Although you may be without Micah Parsons, you're still going to be without DeMarcus Lawrence and Deron Bland and then some guys. But if you're going to beat the 49ers, this is the time to do it.
After that embarrassing loss at home to the Lions, Dak was like, hey, we're 3-3, we're not hitting the panic button. Mike Zimmer in the press conference kind of said he personally hit the panic button a little bit too early, possibly. Do you think this is something, this extra week preparation is helpful to this team, especially with the defense who is struggling?
Well, the funny thing about you would thought that the week would help them get healthy. That was the one bright spot about, okay, they're going to the bye, they're 3-3, you're going to get Micah back. You're going to get Bland back. You can get all your horses back, and that may not be the case as of today. We don't know. Micah still has not passed the return to play threshold, so we don't know if he's going to be back. Deron Bland is still not returned to practice, so you're not going to get your horses back. That was the best thing to me about the bye week, was you're going to get some of your injured guys back, and that's not the case. And so they've gone back to the basics. They're not doing as many individual drills. They're doing more team drills, trying to drill in on the basics and some of those things. Yeah, the defense panicked. That's how you explain some of the struggles on defense. Dak is supposed to say we're not going to panic. The season's not over. No one's going to give up on the season. Certainly, I think that's why this game is a must-win game. You really show people, hey, we can win on the road. We can beat this 49ers team, and we can get this team back, going in the right direction. Because if you lose this week and then you lose in Atlanta, which is a good running team, and that's on the road, that's going to be a tough road to hope for the Cowboys to come back from.
How does this Cowboys team stop the run? It seems like when you look at both these teams, like you said, they're both banged up. They both have injuries. The Cowboys haven't proven they can run the ball. Niners can. So is that going to determine on who comes out on top?
Well, yeah, this is what Mozzie Smith. You need Mozzie Smith to show up. You need your guys. We're talking about their guys, and they got a lot of guys out. And you were talking about they have good guys on defense. But your good guys on defense, your guys that you invested in, have to show up. And that's one thing we're talking about, going back to the basics and really honing on their fundamentals. They have to be fundamentally sound against this 49ers offense with all the disguises, all the pre-snap movements. You got the young linebackers, but they run a lot of different plays, the same play, a lot of different formations, what I'm saying, and they do a lot of movement. And so they have to be fundamentally sound and really go and make some plays. You need somebody to step up and make some plays. And so, yeah, stop and run is first and foremost. That's what the 49ers do well. They got injuries at receiver. They don't have Christian McCaffrey. Brandon Ayuk is gone for the season. Deebo Samuel was in the hospital, with pneumonia. And, Mike McCarthy was giving him a little, advice. Hey, y'all let Deebo rest. Don't play him this week. But there's a chance he could play, but he's not going to be 100%. But the main thing you got to do against the 49ers, main thing this Cowboys got to do every week is find a way to stop the run. They have to, blow up their back and get in there and make some plays, especially on the edge, especially the inside. The linebackers, the Marvin Overshawn, those guys got to really show up.
Now, I don't think it could get any uglier than what was happening against the Lions, but if somehow it does on the road these next 2 games, is there a possibility Jerry Jones, and you covered him your entire career
Right.
here in Dallas. Is Jerry Jones the type that would kind of go against what he said last time, saying, I'm not looking elsewhere? But if this team does what they did at home on the road, like, is there a possibility in your mind?
Jerry has a lot of famous quotes, and one of his famous quotes is, "Just because I said it, don't make it so." Just because I said it, don't make it so. So yes, he said, "I'm not going to make an in-season coaching change." But yeah, let them lose the next 2 games, and then our bets are off, and we'll see. Because he got humiliated, he got embarrassed on his birthday against Detroit. If they go and get embarrassed again, especially the next 2 weeks, and the season's gone the other way, our bets are off. Anything could happen. He's been known to kowtow to media pressure.
My last question for you, what are you specifically going to be keeping an eye on this game when it comes to the Cowboys? Like, okay, are they taking care of it up front? I know you were talking about the offensive line hasn't been very strong. Need to see something from Mozzie Smith. The run game. What are you specifically, if you just pick one thing that you're going to be keeping an eye on?
Well, Dak and CD. I mean, Dak and CD. They need Dak and CD, the guys that got paid. When they went all in, they didn't go all in on signing other players, but they did go all in on investing in their own guys. And Dak and CD have to show up. If this Cowboys offense is going to have any chance, they need Dak and CD to live up to their contracts.
All right, all in. Still all in. Thanks for joining me. For Briana Aldridge, for Clarence Hill.